Hello fellow Rotarians. Today I'm going to talk about our Working with Children checks and our child protection policy. And this is a policy that's been developed to comply with the Rotary International Sexual Abuse Standards and Prevention. And please be aware that we are committed to creating and maintaining the safest possible environment for all our participants in all Rotary activities. So it's the duty of all Rotarians and their spouses and partners and any other volunteers to safeguard to the best of their ability the welfare of and the prevention of physical, sexual or emotional abuse of children and young people with whom they come into contact. So who does this policy actually cover? Well, let's have a quick talk about it. It covers all volunteers, so it's any person or any adult, and that's considered here in Australia to be a person over the age of 18, who's involved with youth exchange or other youth-related programs and activities, and they have direct interaction either by supervising or unsupervised with students. Volunteers also can include club and district youth exchange officers and committee members, Rotarian counsellors, Rotarians and non-Rotarians and their spouses and partners, who may host students for activities or outings, or who might drive students to events or functions. And it can include host parents and other adults of the host family, including siblings and other family members. What is a youth then? Who are we protecting? Well, a youth is any person who is participating in a Rotary Youth program and other Rotary Youth-related programs, regardless of whether he or she is of legal age of majority. So they can actually be over the age of 18 and they're still regarded as a youth. So please be aware of that. Let's talk a little bit about sexual harassment, although I don't want to fully go into sexual harassment and sexual abuse, but sexual harassment is sexual advances, requests for favours, verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature, and in some cases sexual harassment can precede sexual abuse and is used by sexual predators to sometimes groom their victims. Sexual abuse is engaging in implicit or explicit sexual acts with a young person or forcing or encouraging a young person to engage in that sort of conduct. So this is taken very, very, very seriously by Rotary. So please make yourselves aware of these policies. Sexual harassment can take all sorts of forms as well. So it can be displays of sexually suggestive objects or pictures or drawings. It can be sexually leering at somebody or whistling. It can be inappropriate physical conduct, such as inappropriate brushing or touching, obscene language or gestures, and suggestive or insulting comments. So please be aware that Rotary has a zero tolerance against this sort of abuse and harassment. And that goes across the board to all members as well, although I am particularly here talking about youth. Please be aware of some of the signs of abuse and harassment. It is important that you are aware if you are working with people, and youth in particular. They might be a bit aggressive, depressed, withdrawn, anxious. There could be physical symptoms. They could be quick to temper or explosive. All sorts of behaviours like that. They may lack confidence but mask it with bravado. They may have low self-esteem. This can also appear in adults, so please don't just think that it's only in children. So, working with children checks, why are they so important? They are vital, and certainly we know that it only shows people who have not had any charges against them. But if you are working with children directly, you certainly should have a working with children check, and as volunteers they are free. Some people have them for their jobs, such as teachers, and they are paid for, but they cover the same thing. So make sure that you have your working with children's check. Make sure that it goes to the club secretary or the president. It is kept in confidence. the documents are kept in, whatever documents and forms are kept in confidence, and they are not given out to anybody else. And of course, it's illegal in Australia to give those documents to anyone else. So, what should you do if abuse is disclosed to you? Just very briefly, don't promise confidentiality, because you need to share this with somebody else and get the person help. Please use active and passive listening skills and protective interpretations. Stay calm and competent. Help the conversation to move along, but don't be judgmental. Okay, and you shouldn't blame the youth or the young person. Try not to have their family or situation criticised or blamed. Don't get angry or excited. Don't have adults or anybody else around to moralise and say, that's right, that's wrong. Don't interrogate the person, but be very, very supportive. And don't tell them to get over it or forget it. That's not going to work at all. Don't have them disclose, that they've been acknowledged in this sort of sense. And don't show excessive pity or sympathy. I mean, it just doesn't do any good. So you just need to stay calm, let them talk, make sure that you tell them that they are going to share that, you are going to share this with somebody in a position that can help that person without judging them. Okay, so I just touched on the child protection a little bit before that, and I did say that all records are kept in strict confidentiality, and obviously it's actually prohibited in Australian law to pass that on to anybody else. But we do need to keep those checks. So please, if you are working with children in any sort of capacity, please go and have a working with children's check and use some common sense with some of this if you are working with children. Don't spend your time alone with a child. Don't put yourself into that sort of a situation. Make sure, for example, if you're driving a child to an event, that perhaps there's another adult in the car. Take those sort of precautions. I know this has been really quick. I know it's not a subject that everyone wants to listen to, but it is very, very important that we're all aware of the child protection policy and also the harassment policy, even for our own members, because there are members that feel harassed, although that's not my topic for today. I hope this has helped a little bit. I know it's been rushed and confusing, but hopefully it gives you a little bit of information. Should you want some more, please give me a call. My name is Joanne Glazer and I am the District Insurance Officer. I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you.